Hey, what's up, everybody? This is It Was All a Dream with the Odd Squad. I'm Matthew Javier Donahue, aka the Salty and Lit Coach.
What's going on, everybody? Dana George here, your mortgage guy. Carlos.
Oh, me. How you doing, guys? My name's Adam.
We're gonna introduce him.
I'm with Built Different Sports. You want to do this over? What are we doing here?
No, we're live. We keep going. We no
Carlos
edits.
live
We don't do any edits. This is
And
late.
I'm Carlos Phoenix with Live Streaming Master.
We're still working on this, guys.
Yeah,
You're
we're
gonna
still
see us starting from the beginning, and then when we blow up, it's gonna be more uniform. Matt, go ahead, man.
So yeah, we don't believe in edits. I like to just do the raw footage. You know what I'm saying? Partly because I don't know how to do it, and then the other part is like I just want to put the truth out there. This is who we are, imperfect, but still trying to better ourselves. And today we have a very special guest, my good friend Adam Abdat with Built Different Sports, and something. I just want to give you a little backstory. I gotta leave certain details out. But me and Adam went to the same high school. He was a couple years younger, right? You were a couple years younger than both of us.
I don't even know. I apologize. Sorry.
So this situation involved a female, right? Like we're both kind of talking the same girl and whatever. But it was actually like Adam's on and off again girlfriend and just somebody like I kind of there's like some history. It's a complicated situation, right?
It's a funny story.
So that's why I felt like I had jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? Because usually I respect that, but I'm like I kind of have jurisdiction. I was here. Neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't know Adam, but I knew like a lot of people that knew Adam. So we had like a lot of mutual friends. So I knew there was gonna be some kind of like tension if I ran into this guy, right? So I'm at a party, one of my friends' houses, and my friend's younger brother's about Adam's age. I think they graduated together. So there's like both friend groups there. You know what I'm saying? And this is my huge like I thought I was. Baggy clothes and everything, and my chain, my earrings, you know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a real tough, right? So I heard Adam was coming. Oh, Adam might be here. I'm like, oh, so what? Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But
This is.
you know me, like I'm a nice guy. Fighting is not my thing, but I wanted to present like I'm not shook. You know what I'm saying? But I knew about Adam, right? So they're like, yo, someone tells me, yo, and I'm talking to this girl, and somebody's like, yo, Adam's here. I'm like, oh. I'm good. Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So then another person comes to me and says, yo, Adam wants to talk to you outside.
Hold on one second. This is all.
To be fair, I was coming to fuck you up.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't know this.
So this is all true story.
True story.
This is true story.
All right,
So
so this is true. 'Cause
He's just learning this.
I'm just learning all this now.
No one
Carl's
really
learning
knows,
all
to
this
be
now.
honest.
All right, let's
No
go.
one
yeah, Adam,
No,
first of all, I
to be
want to hear that because Adam's never told me from his perspective. Like this has kind of been something like an unspoken thing between
Yeah.
us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we never really even had a
We've actually
conversation
never really
about
talked
it.
about it.
So
Yeah.
listen, what happens?
So don't fight now.
No,
Oh,
we
all
good.
right.
This is
I
my
just
bro
missed
right
you.
now.
Man, long. This
All
is
right.
like 20 years
This
ago.
But
20 years ago.
This is stuff that's been cooking for 20
Nah,
years.
yo, so let me
Not
get to
even.
I'm gonna get to the point right now.
Not
So, Adam wants to talk to you outside. So I'm talking to this girl, and I'm like, damn. But that's what I'm thinking in my head. But I'm like, let's do this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I remember I had like a fitted hat. I had like my Sammy Sosa jersey with the Cubs hat, whatever. I remember taking off my jersey, my fitted. I took off my gold chain and my earrings, and I gave it to this girl.
You really undressed.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. And you know what? I knew Adam might be there, so I didn't even wear my white Uptowns. I wore the black ones in case
Okay.
blood got on it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to mess
Took the
nothing
hoops
up.
out and everything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I gave it to this girl. I'm like, yo, hold this. I got to handle something real quick. You know what I'm
my
saying?
goodness.
But in my mind, like, I'm really like, damn, bro. Like, hoping like someone saves me, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So now I go outside and I see Adam, and Adam's like, what's up? But it wasn't like a yo, what's up? It was like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, what up? You just like that. And I look at him like seeing. So then like I honestly I forgot if there's even like a dialogue before this. But I remember Adam saying like, yeah, I know it wasn't really you. I know it was her. You know, I put the blame on her or whatever. And he's like, so I got no problems with you. And he put his hand out. You know what I'm saying? But at this time, I'm big into WWF, right? So that's like the heel move. You know, when the bad guys like apologizes and they're like, yo, like I'm really, yeah, I'm sorry for what I did. And then the good guy, the baby face goes to shake his hand and he gets like stone cold stunned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I see Adam's hand out. And in my mind, I'm like, if I don't shake it, that's mad disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Then there will be problems. And if I do shake it, like I might get like stone cold stunned by him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So then we just we dapped it up.
I don't know, y'all.
And I was pretty like faded at this point, but I remember going downstairs and we played a couple of games of beer pong together. You know, we ran the table. I think we went like maybe 5 or 6-0.
All right.
I think at the time I bragged 9 or 10, but it was really 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? And then ever since then, like we've always been cool. Like I showed love. He had a barber shop, and I used to go just to like show love to his business, right?
Yeah.
My man was never there. I used to have to get by his bum ass partner that would zip me up. I'm like, yo, I'm just here for Adam. He's like, Adam's not here, but the guy's got nobody in his chair, so I don't want to be a bad guy and walk out. I'm like, damn it, man. But either way, so I got a lot of love for Adam. And Adam has a pretty interesting story. Right? So, first of all, we titled this episode Tragedy to Triumph. And it's mostly because I love hip hop lines, and I'm always trying to throw hip hop
That
lines
sounded like
in.
tragedy to triumph right
So-
there. I'm not sure if that was
But
All I got was tragedy.
tragedy to triumph.
triumph of the friendship.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's fair.
tragedy might be a little dramatic, but I think it fits. You know what I'm saying? So
Because of
kind of like it's my way of getting the hip hop line in case I don't have any other way
Exactly.
throughout the show. So
Forcing that one.
yes, Adam, can you tell us? You know, I don't know where you want to start, Adam.
I don't know, man. What do you?
So you were working for a pretty successful sports clothing company, right?
Yeah, it was doing pretty well.
And what kind of services were you?
We did, regular like active wear, hoodies, t-shirts, and things like that, and we also did baseball uniforms.
All right, for little leagues.
Little league all the way to college leagues, men's leagues.
That's
Okay.
dope.
And this person who can't say the name,
not doing
right?
names. We're not doing
no names. You know what I'm saying? But
There was a falling out.
there's a falling out. And Adam was like the right hand man, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, I basically built it from the ground up.
So you were like part owner
No,
of this company?
no,
or?
I wasn't.
He was the architect though. He
Yeah.
built it.
Okay.
So I was like an independent contractor,
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
and
Good.
but I built it. I built it all. It was just
Now,
me.
when you say built it,
Yeah.
can you elaborate a little bit? Like,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
So I was asked to kind of take it over with my wife, and my background is like basketball and law and sports. Yeah. So at the time, I had no idea what I was doing, and we kind of just dove into it, kind of learned the way it kind of operated, how to get T-shirts made and hoodies and whatnot. So that kind of took, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months that first year.
So was it like a screen printing shop?
Yeah, so we started. It wasn't a screen printing shop, but we ended up figuring out we needed to use screen printers to produce these items. So that's kind of how we went through a bunch of screen printers from all over Florida, Canada. We tried so many. We finally found a really good one out here, and that's kind of how we started. And that's usually how most of these apparel companies start. Everyone got one, I think, these days. So
Yeah.
it's kind of how it starts, and then over the years, and that was 2016, and then over the years, you just kind of keep learning, develop stuff, and now I'm at the point where I really just cut and sew everything. Almost everything I do is custom to my own liking, so nothing is
In the U.S.?
Both, U.S. and overseas.
That's dope.
So I'm very familiar with that process
Okay.
simply because I had my own shop in Georgia.
Okay,
And so we did screen printing, embroidery, I mean, just about everything you
so
think
you
of.
know exactly.
Yeah, so we mass produce like crazy.
Yeah, exactly what I'm in. That's it.
All right. So you built this up. You were doing really, really successful.
Yeah.
You have a falling out with the owner.
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of lose your position in the company. And something I admired, and I told Adam this last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. We went out to dinner, and I said something I admired about him is that I always thought he was part owner. He never said that. He never claimed that. But I always thought he was, because the way he promoted it, the way he loved it, the way he kind of put his heart
Yeah.
and his soul into it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm like, yo, nobody would work this hard for something that wasn't theirs.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
like, so I just assumed just by watching his work ethic, like, yo, he has to be like a big time owner.
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate that, and that's kind of like how I I attacked it. You know, that's the only way I knew how to. So I went at it that way. I gave it everything I had. But listen, some things are meant to fall apart to come together in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had the falling out. I parted ways and just started my own company, doing pretty much the same thing, but more focused on the uniform side. And it's been pretty crazy last 3 months.
So you started this company, Built Different Sports, 3 months ago.
Yeah, it was like end of November 2016.
Yeah. Oh, up until 3 months ago.
Yeah, this is all really new.
So this is okay. Come on, Matt, you gotta bring that out, bro.
I mean,
Come on, Matt, you gotta.
All right, we're good.
Go ahead.
all right. So we had little technical difficulties.
Okay.
We'll admit it is what it is. It's okay. You know, things happen.
He's gonna edit it. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So, well, if we can edit, yeah, whatever. I don't like the edits, but we're good. So, I forgot where we left off. Like Adam, so he built this company 3 months ago, and right? And now, Adam, can you? I don't know how much you're comfortable saying, but like, what are the reasons why people have been contacting you from the past?
I mean, the truth of it is, I don't mind sharing the truth, is at the time I was leaving, I had a lot of clients that I had been working with, and as the professional courtesy, I just gave them a call and said, hey, I'm moving on. There'll be someone new with the business. And they basically just told me, well, if you're leaving, we're leaving. So that kind of like sparked my idea, why let them go somewhere else? Mm-hmm. So after I officially left, contractually, I reached back out and I just said, hey, this is my idea. This is my what I'm thinking about doing. Would you come with me? And they all pretty much said yes. So the transition has been busy, a bit overwhelming, just to see the amount of people that kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. So I guess the moral of that story is treat people right, do the right thing by people, and good things will come to you. That's
Yeah.
I don't hear no tragedy, man. I hear a lot of good.
Well, so because
goodness.
if you knew and felt like how much he loved that previous, you know what I'm saying. So to lose that, like that's the tragedy,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. But I think Adam kind of had the decision, like just give up. Like what am I gonna do now, kind of. But
There's a lot
he
of
went.
growth.
So he
I hear
went
a lot of
instead of going
growth.
left, he went right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and not only this. Again, I mean, this is stuff Adam shared with me. I don't think he'll care. So I noticed about a couple months ago. So Adam, we've been cool. Whatever. We have work meetings sometimes. We're real estate. We see each other at the gym. But Adam's never really like a social kind of guy. Like we let's go meet up for drinks. So let's go watch this. And Adam was always like nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And then one time,
respect that.
one time he showed up and he was like. He was there for like 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes.
Nah, man,
And
give me like an hour at least.
But I could see, in a pretty quick amount of time, one of our other friends was there, and he kept like, Adam's like, yo, you ready to head out yet? You know what I'm saying? And but the other boy was like, nah, not yet. You know what I'm saying? But we'll leave soon. So I could just say like, Adam was never like that social guy. And then like 3 months ago, Adam sends the group chat, yo, anybody's free Friday night? And I'm like, yo, maybe Adam's got like,
something happened.
Yeah, like maybe this,
Yo, what's up?
Adam's
What's
having like a
going on?
breakdown, or he's got some kind of like sickness.
Yeah.
There's something wrong. And then like he did it again like a week later. And you know what I'm saying? So now that's like another journey. So I think like that kind of situation, losing that sparked this other part of Adam's growth. So you want to tell a little bit about that?
Just trying to be more social. Like, I don't know. My wife and I kind of just homebodies.
It happens. I understand.
And we don't have any kids, and we're not old, so we're just trying to be a little more social now. That's all. And it's been good.
So it sounds like more like really wasn't tragedy. It was like a stepping stone.
It's just
the addition by the means of subtraction.
Yeah.
Because you lost something, but it was something that you really learned, and now you were able to apply it for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the lesson that maybe some people can take from that is sometimes you can have faith in something you're doing and you not really know like the how or the why or the what, like what are you doing, but if you kind of just keep pushing through, to an extent, something good can come from it.
Yes.
You know, I would have never thought it would fall out this way. And to be honest, if my wife didn't push me right, I wouldn't have done the new business, you know? So, you know, credit to her for pushing me that way and supporting me. And yeah, so far so good. And my plan is to just keep pushing it.
So what were you resistant on? So once the fallout happened,
Yeah.
then there was obviously a time period of like when you were probably in your head about whatever thoughts
What's
were
the
going at
next
the
step?
time. Yeah. What was like resistance? Like, I can't do this myself. I don't want to do this because I put my all into it. I want to go into a different career. Like, what were some of the things that were going through your head?
Yeah, so I guess, like I said, my background is like sports and law. So I just thought I'll just kind of shift back to that background. And I just never really, I guess I'd never really realized what I was doing in the moment. It was just kind of like every day. All right, go to do it. Tomorrow's the next day. Here's the task I gotta accomplish. And like, I guess when you're in it, that can kind of get lost in the shuffle, or like your vision gets a little distorted. And then, you know, my wife was just like one day, hey, do you like doing that? And I'm like, I get, yeah, it's kind of, it's cool, and there's money there.
But
And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
She's like, and so, like, there is no but I wasn't really thinking that way. So she kind of just made me start thinking that way. Like, okay, I've been doing this for like 6 years. It kind of is what I do now.
okay.
And I never just comprehended that or let that be a reality to, I guess, like just fully dive into it.
Yeah.
So I guess that was kind of like the hesitation, I guess.
Okay.
But I kind of just like accepted it now. Like, this is what I do, and I do it well.
That's good.
So
So can I ask,
yeah.
what makes it's built different?
So it's funny, like, again, I didn't. So I kind of like got into the uniform space because there was some people that were coming to me a few years ago, like, hey, you think you could do some jerseys? You think you do this? So I said, you know, at that time I was like, well, let me look into it. And then I started sourcing and, you know, trying to build prototypes and all this stuff. And finally, we got to a point where we liked the product. And it turns out my product is better than most, including like Nike and Under Armour. So the more people that see my product, I don't even have to sell it anymore. I just send them a sample and they call me like, let's go. Like, there's no
So is
question.
the process of
It's like that
printing
blue
different,
magic.
or
So I get all the uniforms made overseas. So
Okay.
I mean, I go from like MLB quality style down to like a mesh sublimated jersey. You know, so there's different tiers, and I think what people just like the most is that I give them attention, or I listen to them. Like, you know, I have some coaches and some clients that just kind of call me, hey, what's up? I just talk to them, and then, you know, there's no business being done, but I
Yeah.
just kind of talk to them. You know, it's a relationship. Everything in business is relationships. So,
absolutely?
There you go.
you know, if you don't value that, or value people's time, or make people think that I'm giving them my time, or just not think, just give them my time, then you're not gonna really get too far. So that, coupled with the quality of the product and my pricing and my turnaround times, I'm just like a little bit above the competition right now. So I'm slowly just taking it from other places.
And then, so what you're doing now, is it, like, I know you said was it t-shirts before? Or were they still jerseys?
Both. It was both. So I'm not really focused on that apparel side right now anymore.
You're just on the
Uniform / like athletic wear.
Okay.
So like teams order uniforms and they ask me about practice t-shirt, shorts, like things like that. Everything that can be grouped together with team stuff, that's what I'm focused on.
So then, what made you focus on that? Because you were in one space heavily, and it sounded like you had people were asking about the jerseys.
Yeah.
And it seemed like you went in a route. I was like, all right, maybe this route is the less path taken, and let me go ahead and. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, for sure. You know, at the time I didn't understand that there was like a need for uniforms. Kind of just developed over time. I saw this because people I just started. I see what kids wear on the field now, and it's a lot of it's trash. You know, you see a lot of teams just wearing T-shirts, and it's not even a jersey. And you know, my thought process is like, if I'm a kid, I want a cool jersey. Like I
Like
want a
the-
jersey with my
the
name.
It makes
on
all
it.
the difference.
Yeah.
They think they're superstars.
Yeah. For example, like the Little League in Patrick Medford last year, we did jerseys for them, and you know the lady that runs it calls me. She's like, you know, parents tell me the kids want to wear their jerseys to school, and
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, that's exactly what I want. I want kids to be like, well, check out my jersey, it's so cool. So that's kind of where my mind was when I started it, and you know now it's like, it's just I don't even have a website yet.
Really?
Coaches are just talking to each other, and they want my number, and like
That's crazy.
the other day, a coach called me and he goes, "Hey man, Yoenis Cespedes is gonna call you this week." I said, "Okay." He's like, "He saw your jerseys. He wants them." I said, "Okay, cool. Thanks, man."
That's dope. That's dope. So like, there's two things I got from that. So one is the second part we'll go in is like, a lot of times we feel like we can't do something because we're not ready. So it's like, I gotta get the website, I gotta get this before I can do anything because, and then what ends up happening is you're procrastinating. And then if you probably would have procrastinated in that time, you most likely wouldn't have done it because fear would have
Yeah.
like kicked in.
Well, my main focus was, hey, these people are putting a lot of trust in me.
Let's
with
go.
With this new business. So my main focus is, hey, make sure all of them are taken care of. Like I've always taken care of them for the last few years, like during the transition. I'll worry about the website later. I'll worry about new people later. I'll worry about that later. I want to take care of everyone that's been loyal to me and taking care of me and trusting me during this time. And that's my main focus right now. So that's why there's no website. There's, you know, I have I have the stuff, the back end all set up. It's all ready to go. It's just the front end. So once my plan for that is like, you know, May-ish.
That's
Nice.
dope.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation earlier in terms of, well, a conversation I've been having a lot lately is these type of changes. A lot of people want to, I'm going to take these off, sorry, because I hear myself. Sorry, people. The big conversation is change.
Yeah.
And so I help consult some people. I myself am starting multiple businesses simultaneously.
Yeah.
And the biggest focus that I help them with is whatever it is that your idea is, just do it. Don't stop and think but I'm gonna need money for that, but I'm gonna have this problem, all these you make all these stories in your head and you stop yourself.
For sure.
Part of the reveal I'm going to have today is I'm doing something that relates to media, right? So it's going to be podcasting, it's going to be OTT platforms, which is smart TV channels for major networks. But I have the idea of then also introducing podcasts to become like a television station,
Yeah.
right? Where they can have multiple shows, a podcasting network. You get advertising to help sponsor your stuff and this and that. You build your audience, and then you lead it towards the smart TV so they can sit back and enjoy like what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And having these kind of conversations and enjoying these conversations, whether it's on their phone, social media, or on their television.
There's so many options now.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But if you notice that there is no real connection, it's like TV is still to a lot of people
Right.
way up there, and we're just trying to do the small fry stuff. I mean, having a small TV station
It's no different.
in my hand
Yeah.
right now compared to having to have a multi-million-dollar studio to do the same production.
Yeah.
So anyway, that being said, is the fact that you can just start. You don't have your website up and running. I don't have my website up and running, but you're still making your agreements. You're still able to start your business
Yeah.
and not sweat the small things.
Yeah.
They're not small things, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, when somebody visualizes a business, they already think that it has to be built day one. And so some people get so intimidated by that they don't start.
For sure.
Did you have any of that intimidation? Where you're like, oh man, I can't even do this or I can't even do that? Or did you say, you know what, I'm just gonna make a few phone calls
Yeah.
and I'll just start?
Yeah. I mean, once my wife kind of.
Shout out to the missus.
Yeah, shout out to Mrs. Once she kind of, you know, talked to me a little bit and gave me some perspective on it and kind of just asked me, like, you know, you like doing what you do, you know, that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. So once that happened, once I was like, okay, if you're good with it, I'm good with it, I'll do it, you know, we could do this. then I was good. You know, my situation is a little bit unique in that it was, you know, it was a transition more than like something.
Yeah, you had your connections. you
Yeah,
had
something
people
new. But to your point, you might, you know, people are surprised by how many connections they really have if they think about it.
That's what I was just
You
gonna.
know, so it's like,
I'm gonna say that.
That's the circle that I talked about.
yeah, the circle is small, man. It really is small. So, to your point, you know, the whole idea thing. If you have an idea, you know, act on it. And you know, most people who don't act on it is the ones that don't make it happen.
That's the dividing line.
Yeah, that really is all it's it.
It totally 100%.
And it's not like, you know, it's not like an easy thing. And don't mistake it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then it's like done. You know, it's you gotta do your research. You gotta look things up. You're gonna run into, you know, dead ends all the time. To back up and just
Does that scare you?
yeah, no. I've kind of been like that my whole life. You know, just kind of like the entrepreneurial person.
Clearly,
I mean-
you never lacked confidence, right? Waving off my man Allen Houston.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yo, I
man.
hope Alan sees.
Yo, my man was playing 3-on-3 with Allen Houston on his team.
No, no,
Adam
it
was a ball hog.
It was
He's a
full,
ball
yeah,
hog.
full court. Yeah, we pick up full court, and
Yo, Alan.
I was young. I was like 23 at the
I got
time.
this.
And yeah, mistakes, man.
If you could be 23 waving off Allen Houston, then confidence
years
confidence isn't
ago?
an issue.
I don't know if
then.
it's confidence or like ignorance. You know, like I don't know if I was just so dumb at the time.
Nah, that's super, but that's super confidence. Cause like, and I'm gonna go back to like your story as well. Is that you said it was an easy transition because you like had the connections. Like
Now it wasn't easy, but it was like, it was
kind of
different,
like
different,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's still like even though you have the connections, like you still could have been like, oh, John Doe is not going to talk to me because company
for
A
sure.
did this. Like so, you
Easily.
still could have talked yourself out of it.
For sure. I had no.
You know what I mean? So that's a lot of trust you put in
Yeah, I had
yourself.
no idea what to expect.
Yeah, because even the fear of picking up the phone like that and like, all right, I'm about to call. You know what? He did come to the store and he was here before I got there,
Yeah.
and he knew this person before me, and I just did this, and why would he want to? Like you could like that's
Yeah,
a story I just made. You
Yeah,
could
you can tell yourself.
Sure. I had no idea what to expect, to be honest. I had no idea, but I knew even if clients didn't want to stick with me, I had an elite product, so I would just start from the
So
ground.
that's another confidence, trust and confidence. in
I had an
yourself.
elite product.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's dope to say that though.
Yeah.
Like,
That is
'cause, like,
dope.
you could have it, but you can't. Like some people can't say that.
I couldn't say it for a long time.
Well, here's a
All right,
question. So,
good.
so
That's
did
good to
you
hear.
Yeah,
the elite product idea
yeah,
you had when you were in the other business,
right.
But it sounds to me like
I developed it while I was with them.
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
So,
But it wouldn't have happened.
if I didn't do it.
No, it wouldn't happen if you wouldn't the fallout.
Yeah, my own business for sure.
would you have said, "Well, hey, buddy, that I'm working for, here's my elite idea. It's going to make you millions."
Yeah, no, we were.
Or did you have
I
it
was
in your
doing-
pocket
no,
and
I-
said, you know, just
No,
in
we were
case?
doing it for like we've been doing uniforms for like the last 2 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we were doing this already. So, because you know, I at the time was part of developing that product, that new product. So
Understood.
I had it. I know the you know, I know the quality and what people think about it. So, but there was some power behind that company. So for these clients to want to still work with me, it says a lot about you know their integrity and you know respect for me.
Yeah.
So and like I said, I wasn't sure if that was going to happen at all. But I
Yeah.
knew with the quality of product that I had, I could just start going to fields and talking to teams. Because once these teams see it, I don't have to sell anymore.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like I still find it like dope to do it because like there was a time, even though you said your wife spoke to you, like there's a time like you wouldn't be where you're at right now.
No,
Like there's
for sure.
still opportunity, and like I just want like everyone to hear that like he pushed through. Like no matter no
for
matter
sure.
what.
No, I mean I went from like steady paycheck to no idea. So
Yeah.
it was kind of no matter.
That's a big one, too.
Yeah, no
See?
matter which way you slice it, like
Now, did you have any investors or?
no.
So, all right. Now, I've had a shop, like I mentioned before.
Yeah.
So we did I think it was like a $50,000 10-color screen print machine.
Yeah, the machines
Then
are
we
big.
had a 4-color manual. Then we had a laser guided Swarovski crystal placement machine, heat mats, and I'm sorry I'm going down my inventory list. And then an embroidery machine of 15 colors. And we made magic. Plus, in Alabama, we had specialty inks, meaning we can print, like we were able to print, let's say a sports number that would turn to brick, that would turn to cork, that would turn to feathers and fluff. Then we would do the hats where you'd have the foam feel.
Yeah.
And we did all sorts, like, I wouldn't even hire people that had experience because they were like, you can't do that. You'll destroy your machine. I'm like, okay, so then you're fired. I'm just gonna find somebody that's gonna say yes.
Yeah.
And know that it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how it was gonna work because I never knew anything about the industry. We just went, I went to a trade show, saw the machines, I'm like, let's buy it. But the thing is, I had someone with money. So because the reason I'm bringing all that up is because to say,
Emphasize.
I started something with money.
Yeah.
And we spent $250,000
Yeah.
to open a small shop, and we were able to do fashion lines in Vegas and all this type of stuff. We went worldwide.
Yeah.
You're starting no money, in theory. I don't know. I'm not going to ask, but you're able to then get foreign countries to say yes to you. Yeah, we'll make it for you. You were able to get your clients to move to you with no shop to show,
Yeah.
Just my word.
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
This is the
That's
beauty of it.
powerful.
This is
Yeah.
why I'm emphasizing this.
Yeah.
Because this is beautiful in terms of the conversations that I've been having with people
Yeah.
who are afraid to step into what I'm talking about. You entered a world that you're familiar with in terms of your confidence and your know-how, but you had nothing tangible. With the exception of, I'm guessing, some samples that you might have grabbed from the other shop, whatever. Hey, this is what I've been working on, which is a lot. That's saying a lot. But
It's still elite, man.
it's ballsy.
Yeah, it's still elite.
Yeah.
So I commend you on that.
Thank you.
So, at some point, somebody's gonna say, okay, well, can you make a sample for me? And you're gonna be like, damn, that's gonna cost
Free samples.
$1,000.
Free samples.
And
I give free samples. That's it.
so you get free samples from your manufacturers.
Right.
Okay.
So that's kind of like how I operate. If time permits. Some teams call me like, "Hey, I need jerseys in 3 weeks. I can't get you samples. Sorry."
Oh yeah, 100%.
But other teams, my initial conversation is always, "Hey, what's our timeline? Do we have 3 months? Do we have 4 months? Because I'd like to get you a sample." I offered a lot of times. Actually, I think I offer it every time if time permits. And what I find is that people aren't usually offered that in that space. So I think that's
There you go.
also a benefit to some. And then over just a lot of conversations, people are just tired of dealing with Nike and bigger companies. They don't want to. I guess options are limited, cost is high. I give full customization, everything, and I don't know.
And so you know how to do your die cuts and stuff. You design them.
So I design everything in terms of style, color, things like that, all on the computer.
Okay.
I build out the whole tech pack and everything, and then I send it to my manufacturers, and they manufacture it. And
So on the technical term, the tech pack is basically the blueprints of all the clothing, and then he sends that out, and then the manufacturers can take that tech pack and basically look at the blueprints and cut and do exactly the sizes that he's requesting.
exactly.
See, I know little stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And it sounds,
Tooting his own horn.
excuse me. It sounds like a little scary, but
The
It
humble
is.
brags.
it's not as difficult as one may think once you kind of just learn it.
Right.
So actually, the place I started learning a lot of this was Vegas Magic Trade Show.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where.
And if you're if you're into fashion or you want to get into it, go to Magic. Magic Trade Show in Las Vegas is the best place you'll ever go. The convention center is packed with manufacturers from all over the world. Everything you think you buy from whatever brand you think, someone
They
there
all-
makes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Magic,
I
the
know.
largest trade show in the United States. It's twice a year. and also that's where you can meet all your retail stores and your manufacturers who want to do anything in the United States.
Yeah,
so
so-
I'm familiar with
Yeah,
that.
so I went there and I met, you know, for me, if I can meet you and talk to you and establish a dialogue, and now we can have Zoom meetings and all this stuff. Now I trust the manufacturers more, they trust me more. You build that relationship, again, relationships all the time. And the more, you know, I don't want to work with all these different people. I want to establish like a
Yeah.
long-term relationship, because now we have a working relationship. I know things are going to get done 4 weeks, 5 weeks, like, so that's kind of was my goal all along, and you know, here we are.
Well, I'm loving the story. I'm loving that this is the story we hear from weeks in, right? I mean, you said you're
Three
Yeah,
months.
yeah, like end of November started.
nice. Oh, months in. Okay, so
Yeah,
cool.
couple months.
I think my
That's-
first order was December 5th, so
Sweet.
yeah.
That's dope.
Fascinating.
So what, it was like it took like a month to get your first order?
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks. I mean, I was working on the stuff, but then the actual like
Oh, okay, okay.
payment, the first payment, I guess you could say, was.
How was that month? Were you fine because you knew something was coming in? Were you like?
No, I was good.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, all right.
I
I
was
was wondering, like, oh my God, did I just? Oh, honey, what the? Yeah, it was.
No,
it was good.
I was all right.
All right, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's
All
dope.
right. Oh, cool.
So
What would you say is next for you? I mean, granted, you haven't really. You're just in the process of beginning.
Yeah.
But you got a few clients. Things are kind of you're getting the formula right.
yep.
Obviously, you're already working on the back end of the website. What's your growth strategy? Do you have one?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to share that or
Yeah, I mean, the growth strategy for me this
Well, just
year.
that you have one.
Yeah, it's
You
kind
know,
of just like
details.
really, you know, give it everything I have this year, like all myself, and just grow it as big as possible, accumulate as many clients, and kind of build out a business model, so to speak, because I have to, you know, it's one thing to get into business, it's another thing to actually know how to hire to help your business.
Right.
You know, I recently watched like a clip. I forgot who it is, so I apologize. But I think, you know, the guy was talking to an entrepreneur, and he said something along the lines of, you know, every entrepreneur I meet, I ask them, hey, can the business operate
without you?
without you?
Yeah.
And if the answer is
No.
every time is usually no. Okay. Well, can the business grow without you? And it's so even if the answer is yes to the business can operate without you, can the business grow without you? And
Right.
the answer is always no.
Yeah.
So if the business can't grow without you, then you just you created yourself a job.
Yeah.
Correct.
So and the point of being a business owner is not to work forever, so to speak.
So that's a conversation that I've been having a lot lately. I
Yeah.
had a conversation just yesterday with a musician who was a millionaire. He made a ton of money in music. And in fact, I'm going to interview him soon on a podcast. So he'll reveal his story. But long story short, lost everything. He'll explain how and why. But he's now on the rebound and he's building up again. And he's looking for investors, and we're looking at about 10 million. So the biggest question you'll always get from an investor, if they're smart especially, is those questions. Can their business live without you? Because if you are the business outside
happens
of
to
the
you.
job, an investor's gonna be like, wait, so if you get sick
Yeah.
for like a week or two, a month, the business can go out of business and any investment they make is gone.
Yeah.
So scalability, and part of the conversation we had earlier is sometimes you should not have a business on your own. Have your resources, have your people that you know you can rely on, so that way they can help you scale, and then you can not only just be able to live a life, because running the business, and I'm sure you're already familiar now, sometimes that's almost a 24-hour-a-day thing.
It's always open.
Exactly. And so, you know, you're gonna burn out over
Yeah.
time. But, you know, I think your wife is in the business with you, so.
No, I mean, she's supportive of it.
She's, oh, okay,
but
okay.
She's not.
So you're really just on your own then?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. We'll have a conversation after that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the goal is, you know, create this business model or business plan where, like you said, if I do get sick for 2 weeks, someone can just step 1 to 50 and just operate. The business operates, and then figure out how to scale it. at some point I'll need sales reps because I won't be able to service all the clients. It's just too
Right.
many for one person to service. So I know
course.
that's coming down the line. So that's kind of like, it's gonna happen. So whether I actually build out a plan or it just happens organically, it's gonna happen.
Okay. Is that your goal for this year? Is it
Yeah.
is it growth by yourself or growth with a team?
I think by the end of this year, I will have to hire at least one other rep and a project manager.
Nice. Congratulations, man. That's good.
So we'll see.
That's really good.
Built different.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I like it. No, I'm definitely glad you came on and then we asked all these questions because like you're in it, so sometimes you might not like realize what you're doing.
Yeah.
So like when you say you're like, yeah, I just did this, it's like, no, bro, like you did this.
No, for sure.
Yeah, so
I
like-
never. I'm always like minimizing what I do. I think naturally people just do that in
Yeah.
general. It's hard to like kind of step back and kind of look at yourself.
Yeah, because like
It's
you
like-
should. Yeah, because like even though I'm gonna say power for like third time, even though it was like borderline a transition, like it's still like a huge freaking leap
Yeah.
to do that. Because you
like-
brought it up. You said it was a paycheck to building your own business, and so
Yeah.
that's a leap.
And even that, so it's like I had to call the accountant and say, "Hey man, how do I use my money?"
There you go.
Because
So
now
a lot of different problems
money,
hold on.
yeah, like all the money's in the business account, and it's like, yo, I'm making this money. How do I do this? Oh, all right, I'll get back to you. He's like, first, just start paying, transferring money to your joint account for the mortgage, and that'll be the rent or whatever. So, there's the whole like tax side of things that you have to learn about too, because if that's more problem, it might be more important than making the money is keeping
it. It's keeping
so,
it.
So anyone that does have a business, make sure you have a good tax account.
So here's another thing. A video I saw today with Mark Cuban and Grant Cardone, two very rich people.
Okay.
And so Grant
Wealthy.
Cardone had posed the question: okay, you're losing money. You're down to your last $1 million. What do you do? Like, how do you rebuild? And Mark Cuban's first answer was, well, that's easy. Like, I'm losing money, this and that. I'm going to put all that money, all $1 million, I won't keep a dime, invest in real estate.
Yeah, that's easy.
And once you invest in real estate and forget that you even did it for 10 years, and that's going to grow and that's going to bring you back. And then I'll work on everything else.
Yeah.
As long as I know that part of the money is safe, I'll build the rest.
Yeah. And so my wife and I, we have 8 rental units. So,
Oh, so you already,
so that's
I don't want
like,
to brag, you know what I'm saying? But look, no, that's
so
good.
there's a little peace of mind with that.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It took, I do real estate, and it took me 10 plus years to sell my wife on investing. So I don't know how good of a sales. But it's like you said, if you can invest in some real estate, like your worst comes to worst, you could sell it,
Yeah.
have a little, cushion like that, and you just restart, go at it again.
So,
It's always a good time to buy. So
well, we know of a great bank. Anyway,
good job, Carl.
inside joke.
Plugging away.
Yeah.
Carlos is always plugging away, man.
I am so focused on business right now.
Yeah.
I'm launching 4 businesses simultaneously.
that's crazy.
And that's the baby steps to another 6 businesses on top of that. So I am all into like all the stuff that you're talking about
Yeah.
and your approach, because I'm doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You're getting your success much quicker than I am. But no, I mean it's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I have like a unique situation, to be honest with you. Kind of just, I'd say I kind of fell into it, but I really didn't. At the time, a few years ago, I really kind of pushed the uniform thing with the other business.
No, it's a great focused niche
Yeah.
to be in.
I didn't realize it, but over time, I see it now.
That's great.
So, yeah.
So when you said you pushed it, it wasn't on board type of thing?
It wasn't.
Well received?
No, it was received just fine, but at the time we were just doing apparel. We were just doing t-shirts
Gotcha.
and hoodies and joggers and things like that.
Interesting. which can also be a plan later.
Yeah, but
you're
we started
focused
that
on your
way.
niche.
We started that way, but then the pandemic hit. So like,
Right.
Sales kind of slowed down as it did with everybody. And then there was a team that was just a friend of mine coached or ran the organization, and he was like, "Hey man, can you do jerseys? Can you do hats? Can you do this?" And I just started researching and kind of looking for this stuff, and I started finding some good stuff. And he's like, "Yo, we like this, we like this, we like this." And they bought a bunch. They ordered a bunch of stuff, and then I kind of just started pushing these jerseys. And then through the Magic Show, I met some good manufacturers there that had awesome product, and we improved on that product that they already had. So
Sweet.
that was how the baby was born.
That's how the baby was born. I like that, man.
It is. Your business becomes your baby. Even like when I had my business, I had a partner, and she ended up having different concepts and ideas, and we decided to, not angrily, but we parted ways, and then we sold the business, which was a little disappointing because we were doing pretty well, and but yeah, like you do go through a little. I went through a little mourning process after getting rid of the business, because you're so used to thinking about ways of how to make it build, and social media was still in the early days and all that stuff, and now there's more of a natural way of marketing per se. But yeah, I mean, it's your baby. I mean, you created it. It was all your ideas. It was your imagination. It's very, very similar in terms of the idea and concept.
When you wake up at night and that's what you're thinking about.
Totally.
I hate that. I don't like that.
Like
Totally
even my
honestly.
business now, it's a plan that I've been thinking about for 10 years.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm able to just make it work. But the relationships is 100% key.
Yeah.
The people that you've connected with, the people who've generated trust with, and now you're able to say with confidence, hey, remember that idea that I talked about 5 years ago? And that you were like, I'd love to get into that with you. Guess what? It's time. And I'm waiting for doubt. I'm waiting because it's going to cost a ton of money to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's just going. It's just going. Like it's like a little snowball that is turning into a beautiful snow boulder.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching it go downhill and growing, and I'm hoping that it's going to be something that influences.
Sometimes it does take time to get that confidence.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, yeah, absolutely. But the fact that you've generated trust,
Yeah.
that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really is. It's what the relationships is really what has started my business.
Totally.
So that's if you want advice, treat people right. That's it.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
You don't ever know who you're talking to.
So I just want to I want to let everybody know how much I trust Adam. Right? This is how I was going to tell the story
Trust
before.
that.
Another story.
No, I got a lot of Adam stories. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
But this is how impeccable his word is to me. Like, so this is how much I trust him. Right? Last week we were supposed to go out for dinner.
It's true.
Like maybe I think 6:30 or 7 we're supposed to meet. Right? So Adam texted me on Friday. He says, because we had made these plans like a week earlier. So on Friday he's like, yo, we still good for Sunday? And I was like, yeah, like definitely. Like, I'm dropping Mason off at 6:30, whatever. I'll be there at 7. So this is Friday night. I didn't talk to him, like we don't talk regularly, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I didn't talk to him Saturday. And Sunday, it was like I'm playing with Mason, so I'm not really paying attention to time. I'm like, yo, it's like 5:30, and I haven't heard from Adam yet. And I'm like, I thought that was like a little bit weird, because I'm like, if I didn't text him at this time, I think he would text me like,
Yeah, for
yo,
sure.
we still good like 7 o'clock, right? Or something, just like a reminder or something, especially for me, because I'd be, mad forgetful, right? So, because when he called me on Friday, I completely forgot. But I'm like, yeah. If we talk face, like he would be like, oh, Matt's lying. But through text, I could play it off, right? So it's like 5:36, and I hadn't heard from him. So then it's like 6:45, and I still hadn't heard from him. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, if Adam didn't cancel, then Adam's gonna be there. Like maybe like he broke his phone or something. I'm just thinking maybe he left it in the car.
But you didn't hit him up.
I did, but he didn't answer.
Oh, okay.
But to me, I'm like, there's no way he would cancel on me without telling me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe he left it in the car and whatever. So then it's like 7:00, but it wasn't a big deal though because Mason's mom lives right down the block from the place we're meeting at, so I was gonna be over there anyway. So I walk in and the bartender was like a girl we know from high school. I'm like, is like Adam here? And but I walked in fully expecting him to be right there. Like I had no doubt in my mind he was gonna be right here. And I walk in, I'm like, I don't see him. I asked the bartender, I'm like, yo, have you seen Adam? She's like, yeah, last time he was here with you. And I'm like, damn, yo, what's good, Adam? So then he had called me as soon as I walked in. He's like, yo, like I've been sick all day, and I was in and out of consciousness kind of. Like I'm bad, my bad for not letting you know. But I just said all that to say not to even though he stood me up. No. I'm saying that to highlight the point, like it just wasn't fathomable that he wouldn't be there. Kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's how much. Adam's like one of the few people. Like other people, if I didn't hear from you that day,
like me, when you hit me up, you're gonna be there.
Yeah, if I don't hear from you, like he's not coming.
But I was there waiting for him.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. If I don't hear from them like an hour before, like I know they're not gonna be there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened this weekend. I caught like some type of bug and I was done. Saturday, Sunday, I was out.
Oh, so now we know if we're sick tomorrow.
I've been good since. So
He's okay. He's here. He's living.
So what else, Matt? What else you got for me?
So I want to hear your perspective of the story.
What story?
How you came there to fuck me up, but then we ended up being.
Oh my goodness, we going back to that? Nah, man, we're not calling that.
Let's start the show all over.
I never heard this part.
I came to fight because I was a fighter back then. I just fought everybody.
Did you really?
Yeah, always fighting, man.
What grade again? 2004, you said?
Yeah.
All right.
And I think the value of that, I guess, experience was that that I took from it was, girls. It was like the girl. It wasn't like you or I.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even say that.
Yeah. So
I can't help it, man.
You can't really control people. You can only control how you react to things. And my intention was to fight. And for whatever reason, we kind of just said, "Yo, fuck it," and we just crushed the beer pong.
So you really had intention of fighting, and then when you got there, you were like,
I don't know what it was.
That's crazy.
It was the way you approached me, or whatever. I don't know.
He was shook.
Nah, I played it off though. I didn't
6 foot soft.
But yeah, that was
6'1".
and that was the lesson I took
Soft.
from that for like the rest of my life too. So it's like it was a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
So you never fought after that?
No, I fought.
Oh,
saying,
okay.
like,
You never fought me.
in terms of like fighting over a girl, in other words.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Just that whole just the way you handle it, with a lot of grace.
Yeah.
I felt like that always made me put you in a different category of integrity.
That wasn't my personality at the time. The grace thing, it wasn't. But for whatever reason, it was that night. So there you go.
Man,
Yeah.
you lucked out. You probably wouldn't be here today.
We wouldn't be here today.
No, you wouldn't be here today.
We play more than basketball together. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have effed you up. You wouldn't have been here today.
we do
boy.
real estate together.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how things just kind of happen.
That's dope.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right. So how do we want to?
I'm good. No,
Bye.
I definitely appreciate you for taking the
Thank
time
you
to
for
come
having
out.
me. Thank you for having me.
Glad Matt coaxed you to get in here.
Well, first
that was
off,
good.
I got to put a pin right there. He didn't really call before. So we had talked about this podcast in December, right? And I'm not even sure I mentioned it to him, but he said he meant before we even started doing the podcast.
I
Adam's
asked you if you had one coming.
yeah, Adam's like, yo, what's up with the podcast? So I'm gonna get on one. You know what I'm saying? So he was like a fan of.
Before
it was
the
all the
podcast.
dream before it was all the dream. Even
I had no
existed.
idea about it, but I see him putting out inspirational stuff. I said, yo, when's the podcast coming, man?
All right.
So there you go. But he didn't know me and you were already talking
Yeah.
about it. So when he said that, I'm like, yo, he's got to be the first.
Not that I wanted to start one with him. I was just saying when you
Yeah.
started.
So I felt like there's the belief. I'm like, he's got to be a first. guest.
Accountability too.
There you go.
Well, that's a big thing. It's just being accountable for yourself.
And you always need that person.
So
Yeah.
I know we're trying to wrap it up, but that what you're talking about, like the whole just do it. That's been something where I've struggled with like forever. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate when you said that, and I think that's been the big difference. Is I said I was going to do it in December, then in January we're filming it. You know what I'm saying? So
No, for sure.
that level of accountability was dope, and that was really kind of pushed me more towards it, and DJ as well. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, part of that is kind of just like blocking out the outside noise. Who cares if people don't watch?
Who cares?
Or listen.
100%.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it
That,
don't
that's
matter.
everything.
does.
In every level, like business, everything.
Exactly. But so many people stop because of that.
It's because of them Sprite
no one's gonna
commercials.
listen. No one's gonna watch. No one's gonna.
Right.
That's right. Image is everything.
Yeah.
Remember that? Image is everything.
Yeah.
That's what those were the commercials when we were
This
kids.
guy knows. This guy remembers too much.
Unnecessary stuff.
But that was in. I always remember, image.
Yeah.
So I had to be like, I
Yeah.
had to have my image.
But that's the biggest. I think that is probably the biggest wall for everybody. Mm-hmm. Is no one's gonna like it. No one's gonna watch. No one's gonna care. How can I do that? So, just kind of.
That's dope.
That is true because like the closest people might not be on board, or why are you gonna do that and why are you gonna do this? Like when I went into life insurance, I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I should do it. Or go into sales, I don't know if I should do it. Oh, you had a good job here and you do all this, and I was like, oh my god. And like you're right, so that does stop stop a lot of people. And like even though when I said let's do the podcast, I was like, oh, I don't even know if I really want to do this because who's gonna watch and this and the third, and because I was like, because Matt, I do coaching. I'm not a coach, so I spoke to Matt about coaching, and he, okay,
Laughed at him.
and then all of a sudden, like he's like, yo, I do coaching. Coaching is freaking amazing. So like those are like some of the things where like if I told people. There's people that tell me all the time coaching's stupid.
Yeah.
But it has made like a biggest difference for me as a person.
Yeah.
And like the reason why I was like, oh Matt, let's do the podcast, whereas like we might just affect like one person.
Yeah.
So we can't stop what we're doing because we might be able to affect one person. And then like what you're saying, the story that you gave, like you might not realize it, it actually ties in what I'm going through the past couple of days. So like that's why like I was asking questions. Like you were saying things on a modest level because you don't realize.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait a second, that ties in with something I was talking to Carlos about earlier today, and then my coach before that. And then you like, oh yeah, I did this. I was like, oh my god. All right, now it's just like, all right, if he did it, why am I?
And it's not easy, dude. It's like every day. It's a battle every day.
Yeah.
Like you gotta wake up and you kind of just like, you gotta motivate yourself. That's the hardest
Oh
thing.
yeah, like starting a business or starting a podcast. It's almost this. I mean, physically it's different, but it's kind of like when somebody says, "I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to exercise and I go to the gym." And you get motivated. You're doing it. But then after sometimes a few days or a few weeks, maybe in a month or two, you're just like,
Yeah.
I just want to sleep, or I just want to do something else or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep that motivation until you start seeing the results.
Yeah. So the hardest part is being able to be so disciplined
To see the
to
results.
push through that a time when you're not motivated, even when you're not seeing the results. Like just kind of having blind faith that the results will come. And that's the hardest thing of all walks of life, whether it's the gym, business, relationships, whatever it is. There's going to be times every single day where you don't want to do it.
Right, and what a lot of people don't realize that in all these things,
Yeah.
and practicing music, practicing your sport, practicing anything, doing your business, doing the workouts, after a while, it doesn't hurt so much because it's now natural.
It's repetition.
Yeah.
It's who you are now.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? They say it's either the pain of regret or the pain of whatever you're going through it. Like going through whatever you have to go through, or you're going to regret it later.
Just choose your pain.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, it's going to be painful.
But the beautiful thing is that you can see, if you listen and watch a lot of successful people, is that repetition,
repetition.
is all there.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, well, sometimes they may not tell you because they don't. Sometimes you don't even recognize it. Like you look at a bodybuilder, and when you say, well, how'd you get that big? The easiest answer really is repetition. But they're going to say, oh, well, I did some protein, and this, they'll give you the more detailed, elaborate specifics. But really,
And time.
in correct.
People are impatient. It's
Like
all of us.
if I'm not successful within the first 3 weeks, then I'm quitting.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for people to do something without the guarantee of results. That's just like everyone in general. So it's only, it takes someone a little different to understand the results might be extremely delayed. But
Extremely
if you said,
delayed,
like
yeah.
if you said you repetition, you stay with it, eventually something is gonna come of it. It may not be what you thought it was, but something will come of it, whether it's what you're doing or something else.
Yeah, and nobody ever died saying. Well, they do die saying, I wish I had done this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's usually the big thing you hear, like, when the dying in their last breath is like, man, I wish I had, et cetera, et cetera. Because I couldn't come up with the other terminology. But I don't hear a lot of people saying, I should never have started this business, or I never should have tried to be rich, or I never, the fact that you tried,
Yeah.
you get that little satisfaction of, okay, well, I got it out of the way. If it didn't work, next, like we talked about earlier today.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, and I'll just jump back to Matt and my barbershop. So I opened a barbershop probably back in 2000 and,
8-ish?
yeah, probably like 2000, no, maybe a little later. No, it was later. Like 2009, 2010-ish, with a good friend of mine that I know for a long time. And we went in together, we had a little money, we put it together, we opened the barbershop, and then, we first-time business owners, didn't know what we're doing, and we were just like, let's open this barbershop, we're gonna be rich. All right, cool. To Matt's story, I was never there. Neither was he.
Oh my God.
So, we talk about it now, and it was the biggest lesson for both of us. Because he's like extremely successful in business now, doing some other stuff. And, I'm getting there myself. But that was the biggest lesson we learned is like, there's no way you can ever open a business and not run it. You have to be there not that not run it, but like have other people there running it for you.
No, I get you. Yeah.
So it's like we had other people there cutting hair, but it wasn't like you're not there, you're not growing it, right? So it's like it wasn't growing at all. To the point where I left and he was still trying to just bleeding out, running around. I'm like,
oh, he was trying to. Okay.
just keep it going. I'm like, bro, just close it. He's like, I'm not closing it. I'm not failing. And I'm like, it's not a failure, bro. Like this is a tough lesson we learned. Like let's take the lumps, take what we learned, and just never let it happen again. Finally, he closed it, and we were actually just talking about it maybe like last month about how he would not close it. He would not close it, and he's like, man, I wouldn't listen to you for so long, but you were right, man. That was the best lesson we ever learned. And
But him not closing it probably could have helped him out as well.
For sure.
So kind of like how you said there's a delay in whatever, like he probably did learn something.
He needed more time to learn it.
Yeah,
for
something.
it to hit him.
Yeah, there was something in there that he.
He needed more
they
time.
learned.
But I saw it. I'm like, dude, it's not working because we never gave it what it needed in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So
how do you
A
think
baby needs love.
yeah.
how do you think you tell the difference then between like giving up and being like a quitter and then knowing this is just not working out, let me change my route?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess the second time, if there is a second time, if you do the exact same thing, you didn't really learn, right? So if you're gonna, I mean, at the time he had other stuff going on too. So I'm like, just close it. Like we were both done. He was just, paying to keep it open just to keep it open.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's actually just like self-analyzing at that point. Like, right? One of the hardest things for all of us to do is kind of analyze ourselves, reflect on ourselves. But in that moment, you have to be able to self-scout, is what I like to say. Like, can you scout yourself? Mm-hmm. What you're going through, what you've seen, how do you not do that again, or do it again better, or create something different. So I think that's really what it comes down to.
And you wouldn't consider the barbershop a fail then?
No,
Good.
I think it was a necessary lesson.
A necessary lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, if you ask any business owner or millionaire or whatever, they'll tell you.
How many they failed before?
Well, all the failures are just learning
Learning
lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to fail to really get the gist of everything.
Yeah.
And it's just part of the process. And sometimes you can fail in the business and then still make it work
Yeah.
because you learned
Yeah.
from that failure.
No, I would probably say like a lot. If there's a business owner who didn't fail, I don't know how well
they're gonna do, right?
They're gonna keep being. At some point you're gonna fail. You got to learn how to do it
Yeah,
and like rebound and do things differently. So
that's very true.
yeah.
All right.
I'm good, man.
I'm good.
You sure you?
I think I'm good now.
I don't know, because you're about to come
We
in
didn't,
like.
even,
no,
we didn't
I-
even get into the good stuff, man. We got to come back.
What, like
Did
what?
we go? No, no.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back.
At
We're
least
gonna
give
come
some
back.
like the topic so they can know what it is.
I mean, I was in the Navy.
Oh yeah, there's a whole nother story. You're right. There. I did,
What?
yeah, we.
I was with the Knicks. I was with the Nets.
No, it was. That's right. He
I was in
there.
college ball. I went to law school. Like, you only got 3 months.
You did a lot.
You talking about your what's his face? Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah, I coached at Christ the King, Jose Alvarado.
That's your
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Yeah, he's balling now. Proud of him, man.
Theft.
Happy for
Grand
him.
Theft Alvarado.
He was doing that in high school, man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
right. We gave like the sequel today, man. We should have done the prequel first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're just reverse.
They do that all the time. They
Yeah.
did it with Star Wars.
Star Wars.
We did it on
Yeah.
purpose. We did it on purpose.
Yeah.
That's where the Allen Houston story come in.
Yeah, the Allen
Yo,
Houston
Allen,
story.
I wish, that's my guy right there, Allen Houston. He's the only
Good
basketball
guy.
player to won a Super.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
My daughter's name is Houston because of
Alright,
Allen Houston.
there you go.
Yes.
Wow.
And then she was actually born on Allen Houston's wife, him and his wife anniversary.
Yo, you really hoping he hears this, huh, bro? You really want
Yo,
those-
Allen,
those tickets,
H2O.
bro.
Did you meet him that time?
Yeah, Allen Houston's a cool ass guy, bro.
Oh, you did?
Bro, I had a drink with him.
I got you into this, like, the John Starks Foundation.
Wow.
Yeah, John Starks was. Yeah, he was pretty he was leaning heavy that night,
It's his,
bro.
it's his event. He likes
I got a great picture, but I'm almost I look the same size as Allen Houston in the picture. I feel
No
pretty
one
proud
even-
of that.
no one
Not
even-
Allen Houston. My
John
bad.
Starks.
John Starks.
John
Starks is, he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
Well, I'm 6. Yeah, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah.
But I looked taller than him, so it was a good.
No
but it
one
was a
even-
great night. My
Yo,
man
you
Herb.
guys didn't even tell me about
My
that.
man Herb Williams was there.
I'm hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't wanna hear the story.
I played 21 with
I don't want to hear the story.
with Herb Williams.
All right, we're done, y'all, because I don't want to hear this. The Knicks are playing tonight. Oh my goodness, I can't believe you guys met Allen Houston, and I mean you didn't know me, but still,
I worked the whole year with him.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. So we got to come back. You're right. There's. Yeah.
Can you, like, yo, Allen, this dude, I
haven't-
met him the other day.
Yeah,
and we did a podcast. Just shake his hand.
That was a long time ago.
Because he came out with the brand with H2O.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
I'm pretty
Recently?
confident. No, it was years
back
ago.
in the day. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had jeans. It was by Allen Houston.
Allen
H2O.
Houston jeans.
Maybe.
I think it was H2O.
Maybe. Yeah, it was probably like 10 years ago now.
Longer, because he was
No,
out there.
that was-
No,
oh, when he was with them. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Sorry,
Well,
guys. All right, we were
Yeah,
just
so
daydreaming.
we're gonna wrap it up.
It
It's
is
just
time.
real now, but we will have Adam back. I hope.
Yeah.
So we can hear more about the Knicks and the Nets, and you give us your take on Dolan, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So that's a cliffhanger right there, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Adam, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
you.
me. Thank you.
Carlos, as always, man, thank you for being a phenomenal producer, live stream master.
Yeah.
Hashtag the garage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Garage Podcast. We're going to be shooting the next episode within the week, and
Live.
and on top of that, we're relaunching our clothing
See?
line with the Garage.
Hey.
And so
I know
Carlos,
jerseys. He
Carlos
might
is
know.
the king of plugs and humble flexes.
I could do a garage jersey for sure.
Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go. That's pretty dope.
all right, thank you guys for watching.
Have a great night, guys.
Take care.
Let's go Knicks.